hormonal issues and everything like that. That's what kind of happened is my own health journey with a lot of my own issues.
So yeah, and I wanted to be clear because I think you and I have discussed, of course, the podcast that you and I did was actually about men's health issues. So I know you also work with men as well, although the focus of our upcoming episode is Fertility and Wellness Unpacked with Glenna James. And so do you want to share with everybody a little bit kind of what you mean by that and how you put that together, the fertility and the wellness?
Yes, I use the fertility is all about the fertility awareness method, which we go into more on the podcast, so I won't deep dive into that, but I use that as well as wellness and herbs and mindfulness and meditation and yoga to really help us get back to our optimal health. And fertility is just part of that. And when it comes to men's fertility is not out there. So it's also looking at the male partner aspect of it. And if they don't have a partner, you could still do health coaching like I do to help them get to that point of health and optimal wellness. And everything's personalized. Every person's different. So my approach is, yes, I have a standard format, but if you don't need a test for this, or you don't need this, or you don't like that, then we're like, okay, let's strip this away and let's put something in place that actually works for you.
Right. And you're able to do that because we've always said that. It's like, I like someone that I knew said that basically one size fits none because we always use one size fits all. I was like, no, it's one size fits none. We're all different. We're all very unique. And so I love too that you can adapt that and, change it to fit the person anyway. But so can you give us some examples of, a little bit of what you do and how you work with people, how the herbs come into play?
Yes, herbs are always my line of, other than food, herbs are always one of the modalities I always put into that because herbs are just great for healing, great for just balance, and great for just because there are herbs that are actually very nutrition based and actually good for nutrients. So it's like, let's use herbs as well as supplements. Let's combine the two. So that's always in the modality. If somebody don't like that, then we're like, okay, then let's move away from that. But I treat people on in different facets. So I have my holistic health coaching, which is for gut health, any type of anybody. Could be you, could be anybody who just needs basic wellness advice and information and just basic health related stuff. I have a fertility program which is more focused towards women who either want to get pregnant or who don't want to get pregnant because this method can be used for both. So it's really for women getting to know their cycles, no matter what your goal is. It's getting your cycles, learning about that, learning about your hormones, because I say your fertility is a vital sign. Your reproductive health is a vital sign for women. And then coming soon is my pregnancy program and postpartum program, and that's specifically for pregnant women. And yes, their partners will be involved. So if they have partners, we will bring them along. But yeah, it's my goal is it's that lifelong cycle. If you don't know if the fertility awareness is for you, then come do health coaching. So I want to be with you through your life cycle. And eventually I'm hoping to get into menopause, have something for like the hormonal aspects for women who are not menopausal, but women who are, because a program for hormones is important for both facets.
Right. And I love because you look at it as a whole body approach and it's not just, oh, you have this, let's throw this drug at it and try to relate. There's things in our life and our bio whatever that causes different things. And you actually look at and try and get down to the root cause and not just throw stuff at it. You also have, I believe you're working on some new certifications to kind of do the whole full cycle with your clients, are you not?
Yes, I'm working on being a doula, and then that's a birth doula, and then a postpartum doula, and I'll take a professional class to be a professional doula, which you can be one without the professional stuff, but it kind of goes into some of the other things you can add. Like I have my NPI, which is a number for practitioners. I have it in health and wellness. I'll be able to add doula to that and health educator. So after that, I'll be doing a childbirth education and lactation education certification, and then there's some specialities there for like young pregnant women about the placenta, and some for disability. So I'll be going through trauma care counseling, and I will go through some disability training as well, so you can do that. And at the end, I'm leaving it to the end, is a grief and bereavement certification, which is kind of like a death doula, but it's bereavement, and I'll be focusing on miscarriages and also the trauma of anybody who's had an abortion. Abortion is a trauma. So focusing on that, even if it's a past thing and somebody's pregnant, it can still come up. So I'm excited about that because it's got my idea of why birth is so important and why pregnancy and even the foundation before that is so important, and how I'm hoping I can be a resource for people looking for many different ways to have babies.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure you will. I think it's great that you started out kind of like in the beginning, but then now you can progress and just be able to follow them through the whole journey and keep up with them after. Now you have your podcast, right? The Holistic
Yes.
Glen. So what made you start that? What is it about?
What made me start it is I got tired of writing blogs constantly and being voiceless, because I have my own self-esteem issues. I have my own issues that mindfulness helped me through, and yoga, which we talk about in the podcast. And I'm like, I need a voice, and I need to take my networking community that I'm getting and really cross promote each other and be able to do that, because these are beautiful men and women who I just admire and are on my same level. So I decided to do that during COVID. I didn't think nobody was listening until I was just like, somebody came to me like, why did you stop? I'm like, oh, I didn't think you were listening. I went back on my stuff and was like, I have 10 followers on here. I didn't know, because I stopped. And then I started picking it back up this year, was like, oh, I'm going to be more focused on picking the people I want instead of just, I went really broad. So now it's like, I'm going to go more in depth. So I have some fertility people. I have like, I was like, I need a male. And you just dropped in my lap, you know? So it's like, I need a male person. And I'm hoping to actually I don't do seasons, but I'm hoping the next round after this, I'm going to build upon your episode and really pull in more male health related people. But I'm going to pull in urologist. I'm going to pull in maybe some people that work with infertility for men. So being able to actually do that. And I might have one or two companies that work with men's semen to come in and talk about why that's important, because there's a lot of testing on using that to find prostate cancer. So it's like, I want to really deep dive. And I think the next step will probably be a more deep dive into probably yoga and other things, because I set myself up with, I can go in different areas to now niche down further and being like, oh, you know.
It's always kind of a fine tuning process. So your Holistic Glen podcast that you have, where can people find that? What platforms are you on?
I have it on Apple and Spotify, and you can also listen to it on my website at theholisticglen.com.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and I don't know if you have plans on expanding that and stuff, but I know what you mean, because I launched Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross in July, end of July. And if you look at the YouTube or Facebook page, you're like, oh, only 30 subscribers or this. But the thing is it broadcasts on e360tv.com, on Roku, on Amazon Fire, Apple, Android. And we were thrilled to find out that we had over 4,400 viewers starting coming out the gate, and we've gained over 300 viewers every month. So I mean, people shouldn't judge by just because they see a little bit of subscribers. So we have over 5,300 viewers now, and 30, almost 36% of it is men, and 64% women. So it's really cool when you can have that. So I look forward to seeing where all of yours can go too. So I'm glad you're pushing forward with it, because you may think that there's not many people following, but you never know who's actually seeing that. So my hat's off to you. It's a lot of work. I don't think people realize how much work that is, but I love what you're doing. So we do have your episode coming up. It is entitled Fertility and Wellness Unpacked with Glenna James. And that is coming up this Monday, and it'll air at 1 o'clock Central time. So anything you would like to share with the audience and stuff about what you have coming up?
Yes, we go into mindfulness, we go into fertility, we go into even my personal journey with how yoga helped me, and we just really unpack a lot of misconceptions as well. And I'm excited for that. That's really a big thing for me. And yeah, just find me on my website. And I'm going to say my consultations are free, my clarity calls are free. Those two ways are free. I do not charge you for that. And for 2024, really give yourself grace. I'm going to say that a lot. You're going to hear that a lot. Give yourself grace, and actually, wellness is so important. Find someone that you can resonate with. Even if it's not me, I know a lot of people you can resonate with, and just really start somewhere, even if it's the smallest thing of not eating McDonald's 4 times a week and just only two, start small is where you need to start at.
Yeah, it's amazing what you notice when you start to make some changes and you do stuff like clean eating, and then you sneak that thing in that you used to, and then all of a sudden your body says, like, what are you doing?
Or drink more
um,
water. There it is.
yeah,
Switch
drink more.
out. Do that. Drink more water. If you're into herbs, I used to teach herbs. So if you're not wanting a whole thing, I do every now and then do webinars for teaching herbs. And another thing is starting at the end of the month, I will have a free or donation based. It be whatever you can do for a women's group. Yes, you can bring them in. You can bring them in. That's fine. And we will do it every 3 months, and it will be about 40 to 50 minutes where it's like a women's circle. We will talk about different things, but there will be a list of it. Like, I think the first one might be thyroid health. And we're going to have a meditation, and we're going to have some yoga sequences that you can do for that. And I'm hoping to be able to invite on other guests, maybe like you, who will come and talk about mindfulness in that way, or a yoga teacher that can really give us tips. So I'm hoping to branch out. That will be my free gift because doing PDFs never worked for me.
And I think a lot of people miss the face-to-face kind of the interaction. I mean, I know it's not necessarily face-to-face, but it's more interactive than here's my blog, read this and follow it. So,
Hmm.
and definitely make sure you post that in the group. Let people know when it's up, please.
I
And let
will.
them know when that's coming, because that's important. So, and yeah, and definitely in that episode, like she said, she's very good with the herbs. She's been very um, passionate about herbs and the healing properties. And I know we do in the episode, we do go into some of the herbs that are good for certain conditions and stuff, and so how you can use them. So you definitely want to tune in, or at least, and if nothing else, reach out to Glenna. She is in the group here as the Holistic Glen. So you can reach out to her that way, and we will put the other social links up for her. But yeah, and your podcast, like I said, I know we talk a lot about women and fertility and the wellness, but she is very passionate about helping men with their men's health too. So she's really a good resource. And I really want to thank you for taking the time to come and share that with the group. And yeah, I really hope people reach out to you, because I think it's important what you do.
Thank you.
It's very neat, and I love how you go through the whole system.
Oh yeah, I think that just developed naturally. I think that is, and just a little tidbit, my husband is the brains behind me a lot of the times. He's the one that will say, "Hey, you might want to do that." And I'll be like, "Hey, do men actually have cycles?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm reading this," and it's like, "Yeah," so I'll, like, we were just talking, I'm like, "I need to add more to my about me page." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You've talked to like 4 people that said yeah, who's in marketing. Why won't you listen to me? I took marketing classes." So it's like he's the brain. So when it comes to men's stuff, everything's tested through him. Everything I talk to him about, not about client stuff, but I'm just like, I'm thinking about men's health. What do you think? And then right after I talk to him, I start seeing all these posts about it and information. I'm like, Google, are you listening to me?
I know, it's amazing how that happens. I forget the name of that syndrome, but it's like if you've just bought like a Dodge Ram, all of a sudden you see all the Dodge Rams on the road. You start noticing how everyone seems to have one.
Hmm.
There's a name for that. And I can't think of what the name is right now. But anyway, I really look forward to seeing what you've got coming up. And I greatly enjoyed being on your podcast. So thank you for having me as a guest on there as well. So,
Thanks for
'cause-
letting me be on yours as well.
oh, absolutely. I believe truly that together we can do more. So it, takes a tribe. We're building our own tribe, judgment-free, supportive community, and that's what we're here for. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us today. And I will put Glenna's social links and everything in the chat. There's also the link in the group so that you can catch her coming up on Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. It'll be on the YouTube channel, or if you're looking for it on Facebook, then you got to put in Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross TV show after the Facebook slash. But either way, you can watch it there or e360tv.com. It'll be up there. So if you miss it, you can always come back and catch the replay. Just like this will be on the White Sand Self-Care YouTube channel. So you can always catch the replay later for this as well. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Glenna, thank you. It's been a pleasure, and we will see everybody next week.
Bye.